session. So if I do something and you go, nah, I don't like that, or that doesn't work for my body, or I just want to lay on my face, then that's absolutely fine. So please feel free to move in a way that honors your body. This is a space that we are holding for you. So if you want to make up your own moves, if you want to lay still, if you want to keep repeating moves that you feel just enhances what we're using in terms of the scripture and the theme, then this is your space and I'm just holding it for you. Okay. So today's session, we are looking at the whole theme of fear and distress and how actually God brings us out of that into a place of calm and connection and peace. So we're going to be using scripture, we're using times of reflection and movement throughout. So as I said, if you feel that you need to just stop and rest at any point, just take the time. So we are going to start with a little bit of breath control work. So connecting with our breath, connecting with our body, and bringing our first scripture. So if you want to change the position you're in for a position of comfort, whether that's laying or changing your leg position, you can absolutely go for it now. So whenever you're ready. Now, I want to encourage you all that I appreciate that some of you are online and some of you are here with me. If you can, put your phone to silent, or even better, just turn it off to honor this time. There's time for you to spend with God, time to spend in Holy Spirit. And if you become aware as we're doing this, you're uncomfortable in terms of your t-shirt neck, or you feel cold or hot, make that move to change so that you can then bring your attention just back to the word and back to the movement. So now as you sit or lay, I want you to notice your body as you breathe. Just notice the change, rather than just the lungs and the air coming in and out of your chest. Can you feel that breath throughout your entire body? It might move from your heart and from your chest, that breath, and move and evolve down your body. That's absolutely fine. Just as you come into that position of rest, if you're just joining us now, just come onto your mat space. Tune into that breath. We're going to start now just to explore our theme of distress and fear. Remember, tonight is all about coming from that place into a place of peace and calm. So as you feel your breath moving through your entire body, I'm going to read you our first scripture. There is no fear in love. Perfect love drives out all fear. Fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears does not have perfect love. And just tuning into where the breath moves through the body. In a moment, I'm going to read that scripture to you again. And as I read it, I want you to ask, where does fear reside in your body? Not just in your mind or in your heart, in your thoughts. Where has it hidden itself away inside you? Where does it sit in your physical body? There is no fear in love. The perfect love drives out all fear. For fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears does not have perfect love. We're going to use this theme of fear and distress with our physical movement. And we're going to use stretch as our main movement for today. Just how you have come and sat next to that place of fear that's sitting within your body. It is sort of the hiding place in your body. I want you to come into our movements and our stretch with that way to make contact with your fear. Knowing that fear does not have to be scary. And that we're going to kind of look at our fear, look at it where it resides physically and in our soul. And we're going to meet it with love, compassion, gentleness. When ready to start bringing movement into your practice. I'm going to change my position now, and I'm going to come into hands and knees on my mat. I'm going to move any cushions or blocks out of the way. And as I move, I'm aware of my whole body, but particularly that place where I feel fear resides. That place where I'm aware that it is hiding. Before we go into our puppy stretch, again, I'm going to become aware of that grounding connection into my hands, into my knees. Feel how gravity pulls you down. Your body presses away, pushing the mat lightly. So keeping our hips over our knees, we're going to slide and walk our hands out towards the top of the mat, keeping the pelvis over the knees and bowing ourselves to the floor. Feeling the stretch across the upper back and shoulders. If you want to modify this, you can place your arms across the mat and make a cushion for your forehead, reducing the tension in your shoulders. See if you can lean into that sense of pressure. Lean into the stretch. Lean into the discomfort. And with your breath, breathe in the gentleness. Let your heart melt to the floor. Let yourself surrender into that stretch. And in your own time, allow yourself to gently walk yourself down onto your elbows. So bring your hands down to the mat, bring your elbows down to the mat, and let your hips lower down towards the floor. From there, press and lift yourself forwards. Going into a little back bend, a little extension of the spine. You can push your arms further away and press deeper into that. Move gently, move with love. Lifting high into the crown of the head. Higher from the palms, or here down onto the elbows as feels best for you. Feel that very slight discomfort, that stretch, that pressure. Breathe into that place. And on your next breath, allow yourself to bow down. Relaxing your head onto your back of your hands, either cheek or forehead. And then just gently rock the hips side to side. Allow yourself to loosen and soften the spine. Go back to your breath. Go back to that place that the fear was hiding. Where is it residing? Show it that you can face the discomfort. You can soothe the discomfort and the distress. And then just let your hips still. Let yourself sink into the floor. Feel the warmth, maybe the tingling or vibration through your body. Feel your breath pressing into the floor. In your own mind, go back to that scripture, go back to those words. You don't need to recite it fully in your mind. Go back to the words that popped out to you. And allow them again to be sunk into your body. Use the breath to sink it into that place of fear, that place of discomfort. Then when you are ready, lift your head, pressing yourself through your palms, pushing yourself back into a shell stretch. Hips down towards heels, arms stretching along the floor to start. See if you can ease yourself softly back into your hips and knees. Gently reach those fingertips along the mat, letting your forehead come down to the floor. And if you feel comfortable here, you might like to bring your arms around onto your lower back and let the weight of the arms just sink into your spine. Allow yourself to sink into this little cocoon. You can pick either of those arms positions. Allow yourself to stay in that position. Finding peace. Grounding the body and calming the mind and soul. As you stay here, I'm going to bring our second scripture. Feel free to move if it doesn't feel comforting. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. So let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. And just as we did at the beginning, Become aware of the breath throughout the whole body. I'm aware of it moving beyond just the lungs. Changing your position as honor to your body and creates a sense of comfort and rest. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. When you are ready, if you want to join us in our next stretch, we're going to press ourselves to hands and knees and step our right foot between our hands. It's absolutely fine to walk your foot forwards or get a few clumps and clicks as we do this. Just allow yourself to start rocking forwards and backwards. Your weight sink into your front heel. And imagine you're bowing back through your hips and pelvis, sending your hips towards your back foot. Planting your palms into the floor. If you feel more comfortable too, you can do this with your elbows resting on your knees. Start by exploring stretch in your left hip and the back of your right thigh. Have a taster of that discomfort, a taster of that stretch. Moving softly, allowing your body to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Next time that you take your hips backwards, see if you can stay in that stretch for the front leg, reaching your left hip back towards your left heel, feeling the stretch along the back of the right leg. In that stretch, using the breath. And you're massaging it out with your breath. And when you're ready, rock yourself forwards and allow yourself to sink into your left hip. If you want to, you can press your hands into your knee and press your spine upwards, stretching out the front of the left hip, if that feels okay for you. Comfortable and be uncomfortable. Meeting that fear and distress, the gentleness of your breath, gentleness, that perfect love. In your own time, landing your hands to the floor, just release that leg so you can come back into a sitting position of your choice. And come back to that place of awareness in your body. Where does the fear like to run in the mind to? Imagine as we go through each of these stretches, searchlights are going out in the body, moving through every corner of it, rooting out fear, rooting out the distress. Unlike a raid, like an attack on that fear, going searching for it. We want to meet it with love. We're searching for what's lost in it. Not ganging up on it. Alongside that fear. in mind. We're going to send ourselves forward, stepping through on the left leg this time. Repeating the same movement on the other side. Rocking forwards and backwards gently to start with. Exploring the movement. Showing our body the discomforts and the stretch it's capable of holding. Exploring those outer limits. Allowing yourself to move further as feels good for you. Feeling the stretch down the back of the left leg, and then the openness in the front of the right hip. And next time you take those hips backwards, allow yourself to bow, holding the right hip towards the right heel. If you're happy to, you can let your head relax. Allowing yourself a gentle stretch all the way down the back of the left leg. You are in control of that stretch. You have capacity to meet that fear with love, with gentleness, soothing it rather than reprimanding it. And in your own time, sending your weight forwards now, releasing the hands, landing them on the left knee, and then pressing forwards into a stretch on the right hip. And lifting high. Opening up through those hips. Remember last time, we're going searching to look, to find, not to chase away, to attack. And you land your hands down. Release your legs, allowing the knees to open to a wide shelf stretch this time. I'm going to go down onto the elbows, let the head and shoulders relax, or fully outstretch. This isn't a position that supports your body, then feel free to come into a sitting position if that feels better for you. Allow yourself to open in the hips, the back, and the pelvis. Softly. Meet it with kindness. If you need your cushion or jumper behind the back of your legs, to bring gentleness into this hip opener, then bring that in. Stay in your position of choice. Allow the words that are just important and key to you to pop out of this scripture. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Bringing yourself forwards again onto your hands and knees. You're going to stretch your left leg off to the side of the mat. You can keep facing the way you're going. I'm just rotating so you can see. Let your left leg go straight out to the side. You may prefer to keep it flexed if that feels more comfortable for you. And again, start rocking forwards and backwards just softly. You're going to feel an openness through the inner leg. Again, if you don't feel happy with any movement, please go back to any of the movements we've done. As you rock backwards and forwards, see if you can do it softly and gently, creating a depth where you feel you can still look at that fear with love. You can allow that love to drive out that fear. We're not reprimanding, we're not chasing it away, we're not rejecting that fear. We're moving with compassion and gentleness. And either you can continue rocking forwards and backwards to a depth that feels good for you, or you can allow yourself to fold all the way down, hip towards heel, and rest down onto either your elbows or down onto the floor, letting that leg stay outstretched. This should feel controlled. It should feel like you are facing it with love and kindness, not force. If you feel that, just edge yourself forwards onto your elbows a little bit more. Find that point where fear, softness can look eye to eye. Discomfort and comfort sitting parallel. When you're ready, walk yourself forwards. Allow yourself to come into a sitting position with your legs into a butterfly position. Instead of a static pose now, really use movement. So if you can, I want you to allow yourself to roll your hips forwards and backwards. So you're going to let your pelvis go forwards and backwards. You might prefer to take a nice circle with your body, change directions. You might prefer to rock side to side on your hips. I want you to imagine as you do this, it's almost like you're stirring your body up a little bit. Now we've peeled away a layer or two of that fear, peeled away a layer or two of that discomfort. Going is okay. You can come out. That next layer, that next thought. As you do that, just see if you can tune into what that fear is really saying. What you hear, not what you berate yourself for or tell yourself off for with that fear and discomfort. What is it really asking for? And then allow yourself just to settle still. Almost if you imagined a snow globe that's been shaken up. Tranquility that comes as you watch all of it swirl round. Allow a little bit of soft disruption. When you are ready to, And rock forwards onto hands and knees again. So you can either sweep your leg round or you can rock straight through into your hands and knees, extending your right leg out to the side, either flexed or straight, and start softly rocking forwards and backwards. It feels different on one side than the other. Explore that difference. Be inquisitive and playful with it. We're not trying to get it right. We're trying to experience and learn, move and grow. Play with the depth of the movement. Play with how far you reach that leg. Feel how your body is made. If this doesn't work for you on this side, come to a previous exercise. Come to a version that does feel okay. Soft the leg, coming up onto the fingertips. Then see if you can go back and hold that position. And if you don't like that, if it feels like kind of nasty, well, we talk about nasty nice in Pilates and yoga. It's just the plain nasty. Carry on with your rocks. Allow yourself movement. Allow yourself grace. You don't always have to go head on to things. Whichever one you've chosen, allow yourself to sit into that movement, sit into that pose. Allow yourself time. And this time, as we fold our leg back in, we're going to take an active movement rest again. I'm going to start by just swaying the hips side to side. If you prefer to be still and take a shell pose or seated pose, please feel free to do it. Allow yourself just to sway one hip and then the other hip. Softly gliding, feeling the outer hip gently soften and open. If that feels completely acceptable and comforting to your body, allow yourself to take a big circle with the hips. One hip round, back and through, and then change direction. Imagine you're gently stirring up into your hips and back and pelvis, just like you did in sitting before. Rolling those hips around the knees and back to the center. But you've always got the option to go back to that gentle sway. Making it as big or small, as deep or as soft. Remember, this is about your softness, your breath. And one more circle. Soft rhythmical movement, soothing the soul and soothing the mind. And then center yourself one more time into the hands and knees. Feel the weight into your palms and into your knees and shins, gently pushing the mat away. Where does your breath go when you're in this position? I'm going to go into a hip stretch now. So if you don't like this position, I'm going to give you a second version laid on the back. So I'm going to straighten my left leg out, tucking my toes, a little kickstand, and then I'm going to rotate my right leg underneath me. And once I've got my leg underneath me, I'm going to lie back into my right hip. I was staying high on my hands, elbows, or melting over my front leg. So this big, deep hip opener. Now, if that is a movement that doesn't suit your body, you can come onto your back. You can place that right leg over your left and either gently rock or hug the knee in towards you. All of those are going to create a nice depth of stretch around your hips. So feel that stretch opening into the pelvis and the hips. Feel how it wraps around you. Allow yourself to give in. Let your body weight sink. Let that right hip and left hip melt to the floor. And as we stay here again, we let those keywords go and meet that discomfort. There is no fear in love. Perfect love drives out all fear. The fear has to do with punishment. One who fears does not have perfect love. As you feel your next out breath move through your body, plant your hands, tuck your left toes, and release that right leg underneath your hips again, rocking yourself back into sitting. And if you have to, interlace the hands and stretch the arms all the way up to the sky. Feel the soft opening around the chest. Feels like too much effort, just let the arms rest on top of the head. And release those hands back down to the floor. Extending the right leg this time, tucking the left leg underneath you and sliding back into your pigeon stretch. Either palms, forearms, or forehead to the floor. Always got the alternative on your back. Hugging the knee towards the chest in that figure of four. Whichever stretch you've opted for, whether you're on your back, whether you're on your front. See if you can just softly imagine each breath easing you into that stretch. Just in the same way, the heart is circulating blood flow to that area. Let your breath be circulated into that area. Getting comfortable with uncomfortable. Fear and distress with comfort and peace. In your own time, tuck those back toes, pressing through the palms on the floor. Release the knees underneath you again, come back into sitting. This time placing your hands onto the lower back. Just gently pressing the chest open. If you prefer, you can hold your hands together behind your back. Think of this as that soft undoing of the forwards fold. Gentle unloading of your shoulders. As you unload those shoulders, unload that fear of distress. And then your next out breath, just release your arms and let them just go heavy by your side. Almost that feeling of taking off that heavy bag. Slight warmth, slight tingle. Slightly disorientating softness that you can feel. Being pulled off you, you just put it down. We're going to move now onto our backs. So if you want a jumper or a block behind your head for laying, you can add that in. It's not compulsory, but you can have it there if you'd like to. We're going to come and rest onto the mat. Just pausing for a moment, allowing the hips and shoulders and the head to go heavy into the floor. And then when you're ready, I'm going to reach behind the back of the left leg, just holding the foot up off the floor. And then we're going to start to extend and bend at the knee, gently pressing the foot towards the sky. Like we did when we rocked forwards and backwards. See if you can explore that length at the back of the leg. And then on your next one, just extend the leg up as straight as you feel happy to go. If you want to go further into that stretch, you can walk your hands up your leg to create a deeper stretch. You don't have to, you can keep your head down. And I want you to imagine someone has got hold of your heel. They're trying to lift your heel off, like they're trying to pull it up towards the ceiling. And as they do that, your pelvis is heavy, almost like it's being pulled like a magnet into the floor. Control that sense of stretch and length along the back of the leg. Sending the breath all the way along the leg. And soften that effort. And then release the leg back to flex position, holding it for a moment. And releasing the foot to the floor next to the other one. Become aware of the legs and the difference. We're going to bend our knees so our feet are together. And if you've got plenty of space, you can stretch your arms wide along the floor. From here, allow both knees to roll left and right, creating a twist in the back and the spine. Just like we did with the movement before, explore that stretch, just a gentle start of it. Opening the back, opening the hips and pelvis. Allow your breath to move with it. Allow the spine to roll. Almost imagine it's like the tight jam jar lid that you're trying to unscrew.
Imagine you're loosening. Hold on to that fear and discomfort. The next time your legs fall to the left-hand side, let them stay there. And if you can, reach towards your right knee, your upper knee with your left hand, pulling yourself round into a deeper stretch. So the knees are on the left. And then you hug that right knee up and over to increase the stretch over that top hip, that right hip. If you feel comfortable, just let go of the hold on your head and let your head just turn and flop to the right hand side. Gently bring your head back to the center, releasing the legs and returning them to the middle. Now reach behind the back of the right leg, hugging the leg in. Momentarily become aware of your spine and the heaviness of your body into the floor, and then start to extend that leg, bending and stretching at the knee, bending the foot high, feeling a little bit of length come into the back of the leg. Pressing that foot away and then returning again. And then on your next one, send that leg long. Imagine that heel being lifted up toward the ceiling. Imagine your pelvis heavy, connected with the floor. Work into that stretch. Find peace in that discomfort. If you want to, you can walk your hands up your legs. You can bring your head off the floor. I want you to dial up that stretch, just like we did before, where you can hold the tension between discomfort and comfort. And in your own time, soften that effort, let the foot drape down towards the hip, but just pause for a moment. Feel your pelvis, feel your back. And softly let the foot return down to the floor. Opening the arms again, surrendering and opening your body and rolling the knees right and left once more. Imagine you zip those legs together, hugging and supporting each other to create the movement in the spine. And loosening that hold on the discomfort, loosening the hold on any fear, loosening any worry, allowing the knees now to fall to the right hand side. If you want to deepen it, take hold of that left knee, drawing it up and across. And when you find that stretch point, exhale, letting the head drape to the left-hand side. Meet it with softness. Meet it with grace. Gentleness, passion and love that you have for yourself to drive out that distress. Softening the effort in the right hand, release the legs, rolling the head and the knees back to the center. Gently bringing both knees up towards you and allowing yourself to roll those knees softly. Whichever direction just comes naturally to you. You can alternate rolling a few in one direction and the other. Be inquisitive. Use the movement to create a conversation with your body. Allow it to express what's been going on through your mind and through your soul. Try and make those circles as effortless, as easy as possible, that way you can almost forget that you are creating them with your hands. The legs, like the tummy, like the hips. Be as gentle, soft as you can make them. And then just start to slow those circles down, making them smaller, making them more gentle, more subtle. And then just pause. We're going to move from this position to any position that you feel comfortable in. This is also an opportunity to slide your jumper on or place your blanket over you if you prefer. We're going to take all of our movement we're going to take all of our breath work. We're going to bring it into our closing meditation. So as we move into that, come back to the breath. Come back to your awareness. Where does your breath go now? I'm going to go back to that place where you noticed in your body you could feel the fear, worry, the distress residing. Where did it want to be? To go to that place now. Almost imagining you're visiting a place where something once was. Almost like you can see the imprint of that fear, that distress. It's not there in the same way anymore. It's just a shadow of it. As you look at that imprint, that shadow, see if that fear, that worry, that distress tell you what it has left behind for you. What has it shown you or taught you tonight? And as you observe that place, you observe that shadow, that imprint.
ask that place, what does it need filling up with? Light do you need to shine on it? Eliminate the shadow. What do you need to plant? Fill in that imprint with. You've never asked yourself a question like that before, asked your body a question like that before. Just trust that first thing that came up. We're not making it up. We're not imagining that it asked for that. I'm going to go through this cycle a few times, allowing you just to peel away a few more layers of this. So again, apply to that request, apply to that thought or feeling. Reply to it with the softness and the gentleness that only love can look eye to eye with fear with. What do you say back to that request? Grace, or compassion and kindness. Bring back to that. Bring in that perfect love. Drive out the fear, not with punishment. Because you all exist in perfect love. You may already have had a response back. If you haven't, what does that imprint or that shadow say back to you? I encourage you as we come to our end to start this conversation and keep it going. Using your breath, using moments of stretch to keep the conversation going rather than just asking for a quick answer so you can crack on with life. As with all of our sessions, there is no quick end to them. We leave them in quiet. We try to hold this space for as long as possible, whether it's getting through the door or getting home or the next person you interact with. So as I start to bring this to a close, I want you to close it with an intention to carry this on for as long as you can this evening, whether it's minutes or hours. Once more, I remind you, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither not let them be afraid. Take the time to rest. Take the time to to all of that conversation you've had through movement and word. A minute or 10 minutes or longer. That's when you're ready to move off your mat.